Hi there, Chris, Chaplain the Cap from Motolegends, here today to talk to you about a jacket from French brand Helstons. It's called the Road jacket. So this is the Road jacket from French brand Helstons. Jacket's made from a cowhide between 0.9 and 1.1 millimeter in thickness. Now, all Helstons jackets, with the exception perhaps of the one that we've done exclusive with them, all of their jackets are quite substantial bits of kit. When you put them on, you really know you're wearing a motorcycle jacket. This isn't as thick and heavy as some, but if you're looking for a lightweight, easy to wear, summer only jacket, then this might not be the jacket for you. What Helstons do better than anybody, they use a blend of waxes and oils to create effects on the leather and to soften the leather. So what happens is they make the jackets, they're made offshore, they come into France, then when they come into Helstons warehouse, they then work on them to create these different effects. This is quite a waxed leather, and what it does, it creates what they call a two-tone effect. So depending on, maybe they use the waxes in different proportions, but it also depends on the grain of the leather. In certain areas it goes dark, in certain areas it goes light. It's going to mean that over time this is going to develop a very natural, very individual patina. In terms of the construction of the jacket, this has a fixed thermal outlast liner. Now that's pretty unusual for Helstons. It was something that we actually took to them because when we asked them to make a jacket for us, the Ace Legend, that's what we asked them to put in that jacket for us. Normally they have a removable thermal inner jackets. Now we don't like those particularly didn't like the ones that were in a lot of Helstons jackets because they were quite thick, and what used to happen was when you took the jacket out, when you took the inner jacket out, the jacket was too big for you. Or if you got the jacket then to the right size, when you put the thermal in, it was too tight. So we don't like the idea of a removable thermal as much, especially if it's a thick one like the one that historically Helstons have used. The Outlast is a great way of creating a thermal layer in a jacket. So it's fixed, it's not particularly thick, works really well in the winter, provided you get heat into it. You have to use Outlast in a particular way. If you're going out on a cold day, you have to wear it for 10-15 minutes first to get heat into it, or leave it by a radiator. Because what then happens is when you get cold, the heat, having been stored in paraffin molecules in the membrane, plays back to the body and warms you up. It is particularly clever in that it also performs a role in the summer. So it does the same thing. So if you're hot, it takes heat away from the body and stores it in the membrane and holds it away from you and cools you down. So an Outlast liner, fantastically clever. It was developed originally for NASA. Brian at BKS uses them in his race suits to keep racers cool. So it really is a temperature regulating facility, but it works really well in a jacket. It's going to keep you pretty warm in the winter, and then when it's hot in the summer, it will cool you down. Like many Helstons jackets, this jacket has a waterproof membrane. Now, again, we're not particularly enthusiastic about waterproof membranes in a leather jacket. The problem is that a leather jacket's never going to be properly waterproof, because by the time a membrane in a leather jacket comes to do its job, the outer fabric or the outer material is going to will have had to become soaking wet. So you're riding along in a jacket that's heavy, wet, it's going to make you feel cold. The water may not make it as far as the body because of course you've got the membrane, but it's not a nice way to ride. But the reason Helstons put a waterproof membrane into their jackets is not so much to do with the waterproofing, it's more to do with the windproofing. And that's because in France, people wear a leather jacket deeper into the season than they do in the UK. So in the UK, because it's so cold in the winter, we tend to only ride in leather between, say, April and September, October. But in France, they will be riding in leather in February right through until November. And the windproof membrane, which is also a waterproof membrane, helps the rider stay warm because it's going to stop the air passing through the leather to reach the body. So this has a windproof or waterproof membrane. It is going to make it a wee bit warmer. The downside is that in the middle of summer, it might make it slightly less breathable. If we look at the way the jacket's put together, we've got 3 zip pockets here, 3 zip pockets, lovely little zip garages here that are a feature that Helstons have moved to in the last year. You just tuck the ends of the zips into these little gouges here. It stops the bits flying around in the wind and so on. You've got 2 pockets on the inside. They're also zip pockets. They are horizontal zip pockets, so wallet pockets, one on either side. In terms of adjusters, you've got a 2-position adjuster here on the waist. You've got a 2-position adjuster and a zip on the cuff. That's going to allow you, there's a bit of a gusset in there, but that's going to allow you to get a thicker glove inside there. Then obviously you do the zip, pull it down, pop it up to keep that glove in place. On the back here, and I'm going to get Graham to do a couple of shots later so he can show you this, but there's a feature here that you don't see on a lot of jackets these days. It's something that you used to get back in the 50s and 60s on American jackets. Shot jackets were very famous for them. This is called a football pocket, and it's an open pocket here that allows, it does the same job as accordion stretch panels. It means that when you do this on the bike, it allows the leather to move around. It means that you're not fighting against the leather. The heavier the leather, the more important it is to have some way of allowing this to articulate. The other thing that we've got here on this jacket, we particularly desire this in a leather jacket. It's one of the problems we think with many of the brands. They do not have a lowered back, and a lowered back is very important on the bike, especially if you're wearing jeans. If you're wearing a leather jacket that does not have a lowered back, and as I say, a lot of them don't have, then when you lean forward on the bike, if you're on some kind of cafe racer, you end up with a gap between the bottom of the jacket and the jeans. It's not nice. It's going to allow rain to get in. It's going to make you get cold, or going to allow you to get cold. And if you do go down the road, you just don't want skin exposed. So we really like a lowered back. This has quite a nicely lowered back. It's quite subtle. I would say it's about an inch lower than at the front. Not as low as we find on some Spiddy jackets or on the Ace Legend we did with them. But I don't think there's going to be any issue here. That is going to more than cover the belt line. In terms of protection, we've got, as we have with all Helstons jackets, they come as standard with CE armour in the shoulders, in the elbows, in the back. We have extra layers of leather here on the shoulders and elbows, so that's going to give you a little bit of extra abrasion resistance if you do end up sliding down the road. Not that you're going to need it with a jacket made from leather, a leather this thick. There's no issue whatsoever in terms of abrasion resistance. That's really about it. It's priced at £449. As I say, it's a jacket that demands a little bit more commitment than some leather jackets. You put this on, you know that you have a leather jacket. It feels very reassuring. You've got everything that you could ever want in this leather jacket. It's going to be nice in the summer. It's going to be reasonably nice in the winter with its outlast lining. You're going to feel protected all year round. It's a fabulous jacket. There is just one point that I wanted to make that I should have made perhaps at the very beginning, because I'm not sure you can tell here in this lighting. But one of the reasons that we chose this jacket was it is not a black jacket. It's actually a green jacket. It's a very subtle, fairly dark khaki green. We just love leather jackets that are not black, because we get bored of black jackets. So you can't necessarily see it that well under the camera here, but when you get outside, it's a lovely green. It just makes the jacket a wee bit different. So that's it. That's the road jacket from Helstons. If you want to look at more leather jackets, then visit the website motolegends.com. If you want to learn more about this particular jacket, then if you click on one of the links on the screen, sometimes they're up there, sometimes they're down there, that will take you directly to the relevant page on our website. When you're there, you can check out the spec in a little bit more detail, you can check out availability, and if you particularly like the jacket, obviously you can buy one there and then. Now, when you buy from us, we try to make the process as simple, straightforward and risk-free as we possibly can. There's no delivery charge on anything you buy from us. Returns are also free, and we give you a 12-month period in which to decide whether you do want to return something to us. We have the best price promise in the business. John Lewis is rightly famed for its never knowingly undersold promise. We go one stage better. If you can find anyone selling anything that we sell at a price that is lower than ours, we will beat their price by a full 10%. If the retailer is in the EU but not in the UK, we will match their landed price. There are a few terms and conditions, nothing particularly onerous, but if you are going to price beat us, I suggest you visit the website and check out what those terms and conditions are. Now, if in the future you'd like to receive bulletins from us about new products, then on the top of every page on the website, there's a piece of script that says newsletter sign up. Click on there. Within seconds, you'll be in business. In future, you'll receive bulletins from us. If, however, you would like to receive your information or prefer to receive your information videographically, in other words, in this form, we would be simply delighted if you wanted to become a subscriber to our YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking on the link below. Now, this is 2020. During 2020, we are running a little promotion to give away a motorbike to a YouTube subscriber. We're calling it a Steve McQueen tribute bike. It's based on a Mutt 125cc machine. You can read more about it on the front page of our website or on the home page of our YouTube channel. Finally, I'd like to make a play for our little shop here in Guildford. We're based about a mile from the centre of Guildford, a mile from the railway station. The shop itself has got a fairly small footprint, but it's attached to a warehouse where we have more than £2 million worth of merchandise over 3 stories. That technically makes us the second largest shop in the country, the second largest motorcycle apparel shop in the country. But we think that we are far more than just the merchandise we have here in the building. We're all about service, we're all about personal fitting. If you want to check us out, visit Trustpilot. We have the highest 5-star ranking in the business. When you come and see us, we'll serve you only the finest Italian illy coffee. We will serve you proper Yorkshire tea in a proper teapot. And if you're lucky, you might even get to taste one of Sean's mum's famous motorcycle shaped shortbread biscuits. Anyway, this has been Chris. I hope to talk to you again soon.